Goodbye, goodbye.
Hello. I am having an early celebratory glass of wine because I'm making an announcement in this video that was a long time coming. Back in 2009, I started Lisa Fremont Street, and it was a journal for me. It was a way for me to catalog and to organize my vintage hair journey because I had never done vintage hair before. I was new to the game. I was a longtime fan of classic cinema and classic fashion. And then I also really loved just in general fashion from the 50s and 60s. However, I didn't really know that there was an option to dress like the 1950s. I didn't know there was an option for retro reproduction clothing. And when I found this out, I was all in. I started in 2007 dressing in retro reproduction styles, and I wore my hair just straight with Betty Bangs for years. And then I finally decided to start trying to do roller settings and things like that. And that's what Lisa Fremont Street was. It was my journal to kind of chronicle my process and of learning vintage styles, learning pin curling, learning how to manage a roller set, all of that stuff. And some of you chose to join me, and I am overwhelmed by the support that I've received over the years. It has been a huge project for me. It's been a project that has grown and that has waned and then grown again and then waned again. It's one of those things that I made a lot of mistakes in. There's so much hodgepodgey stuff on my channel. I've got so many videos, and I even removed a bunch, but I still have so many videos on my channel that just show you the amount of growing that I did over the years, whether it was through camera quality or backgrounds and intros and all that kind of stuff. And I had so much great contribution to my channel and to my project, from Whirling Turban to Heyday, just so many people that supported it. And at the time, there were only a small number of us doing vintage styling videos on YouTube. And I feel like I'm one of the only ones of the old guard that are left. I might be the last one of that original kind of handful of girls that started creating vintage hairstyling. But I've also realized over the course of the last few years that the channel has sort of lived its life. There's not really any more growing it can do, due to the amount of copyrighted material that I knowingly chose to use because I loved the idea of exposing my viewers to music that I loved. My videos, when the algorithms changed and things kind of set in that direction the last couple of years, I've noticed that you can't even find my videos by searching specifics. Unless you do Lisa Fremont Street victory rolls, for instance, if you put in victory rolls, I'm literally like 10 pages down. You can't find any of my videos, and I understand that that's probably most likely due to the fact that I have a lot of copyrighted material on my channel. So I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've grown a lot and I've learned a lot, and I still feel like I have a contribution to make. I just had to really, really sit down and think about what that contribution would be. And over the last few weeks, I've come to the realization that although there are lots and lots of channels for maturing women on YouTube, 40s and up, there are not really many that are dedicated to vintage style. So I thought, I'm going to start a new channel. I'm going to start a new project, a new, just completely fresh start. A lot of people think this is crazy to rebrand this late in the game, but I also feel like, again, my channel has lived its life. I've decided to just close the chapter on Lisa Fremont Street and move forward. The new project is called Lady in Waking, and it has a huge connotation for me. It means so many things. It means fresh starts. It means no more waiting around. And I feel like for those of us who are over 40, over 45 in my case, and really wanting to maintain vintage style, but starting to feel a little bit mumsy and a little matronly in our vintage style, I feel like we need to be able to embrace what we love. What was I talking about? So, it just kind of came to me. It means a lot to me, this name does. And I know that a lot of people are like, probably like, what? It's my way of refocusing, and I feel like it says everything I want to say. Initially, I thought I'm going to do it right this time, and I'm going to put what my channel does in the title. Calling myself Lisa Fremont Street over these years has been so weird. This is going to be a long video, by the way. I'm got a lot of talking to do. So, calling myself Lisa Fremont Street over the years has been a strange thing. It meant a lot to me. It meant a marriage of classic glamour in Lisa Fremont from Rear Window, which is to me the icon of cinema, and Fremont Street, which was kind of kitschy and glitzy and Vegas-y, which I've always been so attracted to, especially like vintage Vegas. I'm obsessed with vintage Vegas. I think it's awesome. And I had this idea in my head that it was a place, not a person. But over the years, I was called Lisa repeatedly. A lot of you called me Lisa in videos, and I was like, oh, that's okay. They don't know my name. It's fine. But I realized that it was sort of a little bit of a crippling thing because people thought my name was Lisa Fremont, and they told other people my name was Lisa Fremont, and it just caused a lot of issues. So I thought, well, this time around I'm going to do it right. My channel is going to say what I do in the title. It's going to be like Golden Ageless or Vintage Beauty something, or I played around with Tinted and Timeless, but none of it felt right. Lady in Waking feels right because it feels like the start. It feels like a fresh start. It feels like no more waiting around. Do it now. Don't wait until you lose weight. Don't wait until you have like the perfect haircut. Don't wait until you've got a special occasion for it. If you want to feel glamorous and you want to have a vintage aesthetic or even just a hint of vintage aesthetic, do it now. Learn how to make yourself feel beautiful every day. Even if you work at home like I do. I used to work out in retail, and I used to be out and about doing projects and used to be doing fashion shows and doing weddings and all this other stuff. And I haven't done that in a couple of years, and it felt like I was losing myself. So I decided that this was a way for me to still have a creative outlet and also maybe be of assistance to some of you who might be struggling with this exact thing. I discovered that vintage style made me feel a little bit matronly. It made me feel a little bit old when I did it a certain way. So I started honing it and doing it differently. And now I feel like I've got a little bit better understanding of what I want out of my own vintage beauty aesthetic. And my aesthetic will not be everyone's aesthetic. Some of you may want to just stay with doing a specific look that you've had since you were younger, and you know what? I am all for that. If that's what makes you feel good, if you felt beautiful in your 20s when you were rocking the Victory Rolls with the Betty Bangs, then by all means, you keep doing that. You do what makes you feel beautiful. But for me, it felt like I was getting into a rut. It felt like I was no longer inspired by the same things I used to be inspired by. And so I just became really, really stuck. So now I feel like I've got something to offer. And again, I don't know or care where this new brand goes. I don't care. I really, truly am going into it with my phone, and that is it. There is no investment in equipment. There is no a fancy background. There's no intro. I am literally going to be making videos from my home, OG YouTube, not even caring what comes of it. Those of you who watch me, and those of you who don't. By no means is this channel only for over 40. It is going to be the niche that I'm probably going to end up in, because that's what these videos are focused towards, is people like myself who are over 40, over 45, and really struggling to maintain that sense of self and to feel good about themselves. But it will still you'll still see some of, I look back at my series videos, like my pinup series, my animated angels series, even the Diamonds and Names series sometimes, and I feel like those, I've outgrown those series. I feel like there's still a lot to be said for doing requests, and I will still be taking requests. There will be an all request series on this channel as well. I'll also be doing makeup and hair and maybe fitness videos occasionally, and just health videos, and maybe just giving pep talks, and sometimes I might just do a beer tasting. So I don't know. I don't know what's coming. That's one of the things that makes it so exciting. It's not even a matter of trying to be successful on YouTube, because I kind of think those days may have passed for most of us. I don't know whether or not that's even a thing anymore, but I am so excited about moving forward and closing this chapter and being proud of what I've done, but not even caring what comes with the next chapter. Just knowing that I have to do it. So don't be sad. It is the end of an era. I do feel a little sense of sadness, mainly because I don't know for sure. I know I made a lot of mistakes, and I have a little regret on that. But mostly I'm just proud of what I accomplished, and I'm proud that I have so many of you supporting me, and so many of you that still support me in spite of the fact that my videos are aggressively hidden. But again, I know that I don't have as much to offer as so many others out there who have skills with editing, who have skills with filmmaking in general. I mean, I look at people like Rachel Maxey, who just has a gift for her editing and her aesthetic in general, and I'm always just like in awe of it. But I'm also happy to just be who I am, which is very basic and very scattered. I literally almost called this new channel Scattered, Colored, and Plucked because I am so scatterbrained, but I think a lot of you can identify with that. So this is long, I'm sure, but it means so much to me for you to follow me over. Lady in Waking is currently on YouTube. No videos yet, but you can go over there and follow it. Lady in Waking has its own Instagram page. I'm going to be making Lisa Fremont Street my own personal Instagram. Ashley Westmoreland is what it will be, and it will be private. So any of you who are currently following me will continue to be able to follow me, but I'm going to privatize that page because it's silly. It's so, that page is so hodgepodge and all over the place because it's a mix of my private and creative life, so it's crazy. TikTok is still under Ashley Fremont Street because that's just a mistake that happened that I think is kind of funny, so it's staying that way. But I'll link everything in my coming videos just so everyone knows how to find me on social media, and thank you so much, all of you. This has been such a blast, and I look forward to what the future holds, even if it's kind of up in the air. So long, dearies.
Wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie. You ain't gonna see me.